There has been a lot of talk lately about the state of race relations in our country, including here in Tennessee. Tonight, in an exclusive interview, a former self-proclaimed white supremacist says erasing hate is never easy, but people can change. And he claims what happened to him is proof.
I hated everybody, not just colored people, not just Hispanic people. I hated everybody. I hated the world. I was mad at the world.
When white supremacists converged on Charlottesville this summer, sparking a deadly clash.
White lives matter! White lives matter!
And more recently, during White Lives Matter rallies in Shelbyville and Murfreesboro, Tennessee, it was easy to spot symbols of hate.
Nazi-loving, swastika-wearing, lightning bolt wearing, and they hated everybody.
Jody Swinney says several years ago, he would have helped spread those same angry messages. His road to bitterness and hate paved by opioid abuse and bad choices. After the 9/11 terrorist attacks, he joined the Marine Corps. A year later, disaster struck.
And I injured my shoulder to a point where there's no hope for it. Can't be fixed. They gave me steroid shots. They tried different exercises, and they told me there's no hope. You just go home, basically.
After that, Jody turned to drugs, a lot of drugs, even helping others get them and ignoring warnings from law enforcement to stop.
And I said, whatever. I didn't care. All I cared about was getting high, so I kept doing it. And I went to prison. They called me. They told me they did exactly what they said they were going to do and arrested me and sent me to prison.
Behind bars, Jody took up with a gang of white supremacists and got this neo-Nazi SS lightning bolt tattoo. What's the worst thing that you feel comfortable telling us that you did?
I beat up another guy because he was hanging out with a bunch of black people in prison. Because he wasn't hanging out with us, I jumped him and I beat him bad.
That was nearly 7 years ago.
I chose the feathers kind of as a representation of freedom.
Right, I'm okay with that. It's going to look a lot better than that.
Fast forward to Veterans Day last weekend. Our News 4 cameras caught up to Jody at this Murfreesboro tattoo shop. In a few hours, the symbol of hate on his left arm will disappear.
I'm here to get a racist tattoo removed. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't want to see it on my body anymore.
You know, we're changing Jody's life tonight. Literally changing Jody's life tonight.
Max Webster from Ohio volunteered to pay for Jody's tattoo cover-up. The two men's lives intersecting on this comic's social media site.
I follow a comedian, Amiri King, on Facebook, and reading through the comments, I found somebody that does racist tattoo cover-ups down in Texas. And I said, well, I'll pay for the next person to come through the doors.
That person,
oh, dude, you have no idea what a relief it is,
was Jody.
I said, well, tell me your story. And heard his story, and, you know, it felt right. It absolutely felt right.
Max heard how Jody's life had been filled with hate, drug addiction, homelessness, and how Jody finally turned to God for help.
When I say I cried out to God, I cried out to God. And I said, please take this from me. I don't care how, I don't know how. Make this stop. I don't want to live this life anymore.
The very next day, Jody receives a call from a cousin in Arizona, offering to fly him there so he can get his life together. And that's where Jody met his cousin's Jewish great-grandmother.
And so she's talking to me one day, and she touches my face, and she says, you have such an amazing heart. You're such a beautiful person. And when she said it, dude, I'm just get emotional now. Like, dude, it broke my heart. Like, seriously, that broke my heart when that lady told me that. Because if she could see these, knowing that her family was killed by men wearing this, dude, it broke my heart. Like, there's no way. Like, and I went upstairs, and I cried. And I was like, for the first time in my life, I was ashamed.
After a couple of hours of work, the SS bolts are finally gone. Interestingly enough, Grace in Glory is the name of the local tattoo business that agreed to do Jody's tattoo. Owner Will Campbell tells me he's just happy he's able to help another man change his life.
So we went with 2 eagle's feathers. Not only did it work as a cover-up, but I thought it was a good expression of freedom.
Freedom from a symbol of hate now erased because of unexpected kindness.
Thanks, buddy. Absolutely.
and the generosity of a stranger.
This doesn't happen. Like, this isn't supposed to happen. This doesn't happen, man. This doesn't happen to people like me. This is just a crazy, to me, it's a crazy God-filled scenario and situation and circumstance that is just awesome.
Now, with all that's happened in his life, Jody told me he's going to keep challenging himself to be a better person, and he says those with hate-filled hearts should do the same. He adds there's nothing wrong with someone being proud of their heritage as long as they don't put that or their beliefs above other people.
Boy, if there was ever a story that needs to go viral, it's that one. Good job, Tom. Really good.